Still watching Prime Morning. My name is Roslyn Felly, and I want to say a very big thank you to all of you for always tuning in every morning. Now, I want to say a very big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise for always having our back. With Franco Trading Enterprise, you can trust that we will give you authentic gadgets. So come to any of our shops and we'll serve you. It's a mobile phone you're looking for, televisions and CCTV cameras, so worry no more because we've got you covered. You can actually download the app on your phone to make things very simple, which is the Franco Trading app, or visit our website for further inquiries. It's www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise still phone papa perfect. Now again, I tell you to drink Koa natural fruit juice. Now talking about that, we are talking about it's being made from your natural cocoa. So make sure you grab your Koa natural fruit juice because it is authentic, because it has no additives, and it's healthy for you. This year, want to live healthy. So grab your Koa natural fruit juice this time. Now, this morning, I'm excited to tell you that fuel prices could increase. Yes. Now, for those of you who just tuned in, I want to greet you once more. Good morning and welcome to Prime Morning. Today, we turn our attention to an issue that directly affects every Ghanaian, from transport operators and traders to businesses and shareholders or households. Now, the expected increment in fuel price as projected by COMAC, that is Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. According to COMAC, fuel prices may soon go up, actually supposed to go up from today due to a combination of factors, including global crude oil price fluctuations, exchange rate pressures. Now, we know that the cedi has depreciated by 4% in recent times. At a time when many Ghanaians are already grappling with cost of living, this unexpected increase raises serious concerns about inflation. Transport fares. You remember that the authorities were on the street whipping drivers who had refused to drop the transport fares. Now questions are being asked about food prices as well, and overall the economic outlook. Now this morning we are joined by representatives from the incumbent NDC. Of course, E.A. Metal Bruno Jr. is seated next to me. Good morning.
Good morning, Rosalie.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
I can see you're still in the Valentine mood.
The whole month is Valentine.
I see. you're really celebrating the month of love.
We have to.
Yes. So you should have given me chocolate on set.
Oh, you want chocolate?
You're celebrating the month of love for the whole month.
Okay.
So all your guests for the whole month, you should be giving us
Don't
chocolate.
worry, I got you. I mean, chocolate, come on. I got you.
I'm not scared at all.
Don't be scared.
I'm not scared at all.
Anyway, so talking about that, and today we also have a representation from NPP and the CPP to help us discuss what this means actually to the ordinary Ghanaian and what solutions can be offered. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I say welcome to Prime Morning. My name is Roslyn Felly. Now, I'll do the newspapers and then we delve into our conversation. Again, we will talk about what is happening in the camp of the NPP. Yesterday, they held their Thanksgiving service where the flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, urged every member of the party to come together so they can unite and have a good front in the 2028 elections. You have to stay glued to your television set for that conversation and even many more. So I'll start with the Daily Gist newspaper. The Daily Gist newspaper. NPP boys fight NDC over cocoa board mess. This is not fair, cocoa farmers cry out. Bawumia preaches unity in NPP ahead of 2028 polls. OSP exposed in Oforiatta Interpol arrest warrant. Former MMDC to stage demo at Finance Ministry, and police break kidnapping ring at Deftraco Estate. I don't know what is happening with this kidnap and all of that. I just want to read a little bit of that, okay? So it says that the Ghana Police Service has disrupted a suspected organized cybercrime and kidnapping operation at Deftraco Estate, leading to the arrest of 2 suspects and the rescue of 10 victims in an intelligence-led operation. The suspects identified as Robinson Endurance and Derek Glory were arrested on February 2nd, 2026, following actionable intelligence indicating that individuals were being illegally detained and forced to participate in online fraud activities. Wow, have we gotten here? Have we gotten here? But you know the names, these names don't even sound Ghanaian, you know. Robinson, Endurance, and Derek Glory.
Yeah, they're not Ghanaian.
They're not Ghanaians?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy. You open your doors and then these people take over and they just come in and they just destroy your country. Anyway, I'm happy. Dear Ghana, please continue doing what you're doing. Keep up the good work. Now, the Today newspaper is the next newspaper. Today newspaper. Court stops SSA UOG's strike. Tamale residents desperate as water crisis peak. Emeto Nunu Jr., we need to speak about this. Now, we have been talking about this water crisis in Tamale for a very long time. We know the president has assured that things are going to get better, but when?
I think they are working on it. The last time I visited the northern part of Ghana, Tamale through to Bogatanga, and then the environs, you realize that there were a lot of people carrying these gallons in search of water. Mm-hmm. And if you look, yes, and if you look at their region, it's a region that gets very dry. So even if there's been several government attempts, the previous government said we're going to build dams. At a point in time, we saw that the dams were dry. Even if you drill boreholes, you are going to realize that the boreholes, there's no water. It's not like the south and then the middle part of Ghana and then all that. So it's an issue that we must look at critically. And then there's a major source of water body somewhere around that passes through Bupe, some parts of the northern region. That's the white water, and then is it the black water? Mm-hmm. But now you realize that some of these water bodies are also getting polluted by this illegal mining activities. You look at the stability levels, it's very bad, and then all that. So we must look at it critically because water is a source of livelihood. You ask yourself, you are talking about hospitals, but even the food that people eat, and the shortage of water causes a lot of health crisis because the people who are selling food are going to use polluted water to cook food, and people are going to eat. Animals and human beings are all drinking from the same water source. So it's an issue that we must look at critically. And in this present day and age, it's very disheartening. It's very sad that human beings just like us, just by reason that they live in that part of the country, would have to go through things like this. So it's something that I don't know how it's going to be resolved because borehole is not an issue. Dams gets dry at a particular point in time.
Your party is in power.
Yes, and the president has assured. So I think that the last time I went there, from my company, Boston Energies, we've got the posts around there. We did some lease assessments around because we're trying to see how to solve them. We realized that there's a major, that's what I'm talking, the black and the white water passes through some point. So we wanted to filter it and then also get pumps to put them into tanks that people will be able to use. So apart from the government of Ghana making efforts to resolve them, corporate Ghana is also making efforts like Boston Energies, led by Afechi Awuno, and then all that. So I'm sure by the end of the year, we should see much improvement. Okay,
so last week there was a social, I've forgotten what he was, he's a social...
Influencer or
no,
blogger?
He's not an influencer. I'll try and get what he does. Dr. Parkwesi was here, and he made an eye-opening, analysis, which most people have not even thought of. And this is what he said. He said, the politician will not want to empower the ordinary person to get to their level so that they will have to one day not beg them. So they always want the people to be at a certain level. So they keep begging them for ends meet. So they keep being the bosses that they have to be, and then they trickle down whatever they have to give to them. Now we take a look at these people in Tamale. They have cried for this water for a long time. You being in power for a year, over a year, one would have said that, looking at where President John Dramani Mahama is hailing from the northern sector, there would have been some sort of emergency in that side. But unfortunately, we are not hearing much about it.
Rosalind, I seriously disagree with the statement that politicians would like the ordinary people to suffer so that they would always come to beg them. I'm a politician. I'm a young politician for that matter. I've dealt and been with senior politicians, both from both divides, the two major parties, that's the CPP and then the NPP. I doubt any politician, even the bad ones, I doubt any of them will deliberately want the people to suffer. When you raise the issue about the shortage of water in the northern sector, immediately I was telling you what we have done as an organization, that's Corporate Ghana from my institution. I was telling you what the problems are and then all that. So sometimes when these technocrats or these social commentators or these people come and they are commenting, I would also like that they propound some form of solutions and tell us that, okay, these are the problems and these are the solutions, and politicians are not adhering to them.
His name is Dr. Kwesi Edua-Folabedu. He's a social policy and sustainability person.
Yes, so Dr. Kwesi Bedu, if I got the name right.
Abedu.
So, Abedu. So they can also profess some solutions and tell us that, okay, in the northern sector or with this kind of crisis, this is the problem. And these are solutions that we are also professing, or we're also propounding that can be able to solve the problem. So if the politicians don't do it, then you can say that deliberately they want the people to suffer. I've seen politicians who go to bed just because people are asking them school fees, people are asking them money to go to hospital.
He said that's what they want.
People are asking them, no politician wants that. I've seen politicians who ask people, their party base, at a point in time, and then they ask them that, I cannot give you money every time. Tell me something to do to empower you. And it will be surprising for you to know that about 70% of the people rather choose to come and you give them the money every day. So they are there and then they come and then you give them money for their school fees, their outdooring and then all that, instead of you setting them up in businesses. Most of them do not want that. They just want to follow you, they come and they shout and then you give them the money. So it's not entirely true.
Okay.
That politicians will deliberately want you to suffer.
All right. Thank you. Then please, let's fix the water crisis in Tamale.
Yes, it's an issue. It's an issue that needs to be resolved. Yeah.
Urgency, and I'm hoping that it will be fixed. We spoke about this thing 2 years ago. I'm surprised we are speaking about this thing again. After 2 years, nothing has been done. I'm just too surprised. I mean, too surprised. And I'm hoping that the minister in that region will actually do something for his people, because we shouldn't even be sitting there discussing water crisis in Tamale again. This should be a thing of the past. The next time we are speaking about this, we should hear that water is flowing in Tamale. It can be done. Please do it. Thank you very much. Itawam Accra Road erupts in flames as tanker explosion kills 4 and several others injured. This is so gruesome, and I pray this doesn't happen again. AU elects Mahama as first vice chair, and that'll be it for the Today newspaper. So about the flames that happened, the accident, later KMJ will sit down and have a proper conversation on that one. Now, the Daily Graphic newspaper is the next newspaper. The Daily Graphic: industry rallies behind 50% cocoa processing directive, pushes import restrictions to protect local industry. Stop sharing explicit viral, Stop sharing explicit viral videos, the gender minister says. So, 4 Ghanaians named among 40 under 40 Africa entrepreneurs. No more foreign funds for cocoa. No mineral will be exported without processing. And this is coming from President John Dramani Mahama. That'll be it for the Daily Graphic newspaper. The next newspaper is the Ghanaian Publisher. IOM Fidelity Bank partner to boost returnees' financial inclusion. Baumia urges forgiveness ahead of 2028. Cocoa farmers blast Mahama over price cuts. APN pushes visa-free Africa agenda at AU summit. Police arrest cybercrime suspects at Deaf Traco. And that'll be it for the Ghanaian Publisher newspaper. The next newspaper is the Daily Guide newspaper. The Daily Guide. Interpol deletes Oforiatta red notice. I don't know what, my guests have to say about this. But Metal, did you see this coming? You are in the law field. Did you see it coming?
What did you...
Interpol deleting Oforiatta red notice.
Well, but he's in custody, so why should there still be red notice? He's not somebody that is lost, that we can't find. There's not somebody that is wanted. He's in custody, they know where he is.
But that's not what the statement said.
It said it deletes red...
but the statement actually said that it's because this is more of politically, thing.
I've not read the entire statement, but I know one of the reasons why they will delete it is because now he's not somebody. At the time that it was put out, we didn't know where he was. He wasn't coming. The OSP was looking for him to come and answer certain questions, and they didn't know where he was. Now he's been found. He started the court process. He's appeared in court for the first time. They know exactly where he is. So I don't think it's needed for the red notice to still be there.
All right, I hear you. So I have my other guest who has joined, Abdul Aziz Adam. He's a member of the CPP. Good morning, Abdul.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Great, and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Anyway, so more stories here. Let's put post-NPP primary reconciliation. Let's put personal grudges behind. And this from Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. Terrorists attack Ghanaian tomato traders in Burkina Faso. We'll speak briefly on that one as well. And 3 dead in a Sawom-Accra highway fuel tanker explosion. That'll be it for the Daily Guide newspaper. The final newspaper is a Chronicle newspaper. Land guards on rampage in Adan attack construction workers, rob them of their phones. Police bust alleged cybercrime syndicate at Devtraco Estate. MIIF gets investors from sub-region, and farmers unhappy over cocoa price reduction. That'll be it for the Chronicle newspaper, but it comes with a Bible verse. And this time it's coming from Ezra chapter 7, verse 26. Whoever will not observe the law of your God and the law of the king, let judgment be executed upon him strictly. I like this one. Whoever will not observe the law of your God and the law of the king, let judgment be executed upon him strictly. Land guards on rampage in Ada. We will definitely catch them. Anyway, that'll be it for that conversation. Now, this morning, like I told you earlier, I want to take a look at the fuel price that is expected to go up, effective today, actually. And so, I don't know if I should start this conversation with Aziz, because Aziz just came in. But Aziz, maybe you should also touch a bit on the Ken Ofori-Atta Interpol deleting his red notice. Then I go into my topic.
Okay. Good morning, and good morning to your viewers. And thanks for the invitation. Basically, on the Ofori-Atta's issue, borders on legality and or other borders mostly on legality. And as you asked my colleague, I think it's not fair on the part of the citizens of Ghanaians to demand accountability from our immediate foreign minister, past minister, just to come and give account, and it's so difficult. This is so disrespectful to Ghanaians, and I think Ghanaians should not forget this, because other people could have managed the finance ministry, but he was considered for 8 solid years. And for you to just come to your own country, and this is where we, as a party, the Nkrumahs, Pan-Africanists, think we really need to do something about the mindset of Ghanaians and the African, because I remember President Mahama saying he wants to restart the economy. But the minds of Ghanaians we need to work on our minds. Because just coming to give account, I don't think any Ghana government cannot say, or can say, when you come, you will be detained. This will be a process after some time, if it's really true. But the way and manner he treats, then that he's setting a bad example.
Who is setting a bad example?
Ofori-Atta.
Okay.
To many upcoming Ghanaian will be officials, that you can loot as much as you can, just find a foreign country, find some friends there and hide when it's time for accountability. I think Ghanaians should not, whatever, he need to come and then
an account.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right. So now I did mention earlier about the fuel price that could shoot up. Now, Comac data is showing that petrol prices are expected to increase by up to 1.97% from February 16th, that's today, resulting in a litre selling at 11.97 Ghana cedis. So I don't know how much you are buying it at the pump as of now. I don't know, because everybody and where they buy from, there are so many OMCs, so you can decide to get it from either Total or Shell or Star Oil or Allied Oil, whichever you choose to get it from. But this is where we are looking at right now. It is supposed to be 11.97 Ghana cedis. Now, talking about diesel prices, they are projected to rise by 2.73%, with a litre likely to sell for 13.9 pesos. And also, we have liquefied petroleum gas, or LPG, which is expected to increase by 3.26% and resulting in a kilogram selling at approximately 13 Ghana cedis, 93 pesos. Okay, so you can be buying fuel at 11 Ghana cedis, 97 pesos. Now, diesel for 13 Ghana cedis, 9 pesos, and LPG for 13 Ghana cedis, 93 pesos. Metal Nunu Jr., I think the biggest question here that Ghanaians want to know is the government going to do anything in particular to support the citizens? Because back in the day, anytime fuel prices shot up, it affected us so much, and people don't want that to happen.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rosalind. And before I start, I'd like to say a very good morning to yourself, a good morning to our cherished viewers. Good morning to His Excellency, the President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and a good morning to the Managing Director of Bost Energies, Afechi Awuno. What we are about to talk about I also like to use the opportunity to congratulate Madame Adjoa Sewa Bonzi, who was the first female Deputy Managing Director of Bost Energies. Now she's been appointed as the Executive Secretary of the Energy Commission. So I'd like to congratulate her, and I know that she's going to do exceptionally well, given her qualities and the way she worked with us at Bost Energies. And also congratulate the newly appointed Deputy Managing Director, Nat Salifu Achampong. Talking about fuel prices, I already want to go back, but it's important that we learn from history. The NDC government took over this country on the 7th of January 2025. And as at that time, fuel prices per litre at pump price was almost 15 Ghana cedis. Some were 14.75, diesel was 15.45. That's where we took over from with the fuel pricing. Now today, even with the increment per all the indicators, you realize that the petrol is going to sell between 11.97 and diesel is about 13.9 pesos, and then the LPG is 13.93. If you look at even with all these increments, you realize that it doesn't even come close to where we took over the pricing of fuel per litre as of December 2024 was. It's still better. Ghanaians, I know they appreciate it, and then it's important for us to look at the factors. When we spoke about the fact that the price of fuel were reducing because of the prudent management of the economy and because of the appreciation of the cedi against the dollar, our counterparts from the NPP were saying that it's as a result of the drop in fuel prices and the international market. That is why we are having the reductions that we are having here, and it's got nothing to do with the appreciation of the cedi against the dollar. When you listen to COMAC very well, and there are reasons for why the fuel price is going up. One of the reasons is that on the international markets, fuel price is going up a little, but also because that the cedi has depreciated about 1 Ghana cedi. I think that as at this point, Ato Forsen should be a very hot man. You see, there's an issue with cocoa board. Cocoa board, we export the cocoa, and when we are exporting the cocoa and the returns are coming, and the cedi has depreciated, it means that you're getting more money for the people who deal in that sector. Now, on the other hand, when the cedi is also appreciating more, the people who largely dwell on imports are also getting benefits. So somewhere last year, I heard when the IB was telling him that he should make sure the cedi is stable at a particular range. You also find the importers saying that they are happy that the cedi is going to go down. So with this slight change, with this 1 Ghana cedi appreciation of the cedi, depreciation of the cedi, it's going to benefit some people, and some people are still not going to benefit. Yes, some people will benefit, some people will still not. 4% by nominal figures is just about 1 Ghana cedis. That's it has depreciated. But when you look at percentages, it's about 4%. What I'm trying to say is that it's marginal. It's really not significant, looking at where we came from and where we've arrived today. And I don't think that is going to really affect the transport fares. I don't think that is really going to affect the price of foodstuffs and commodities on the market, unless anybody wants to play politics with it. But I don't think that the marginal increase in fuel prices is really going to affect anything. You're still buying for about 11.97 Ghana cedis. And this one, when I was coming on the set, I was hearing that whether Goal is still going to give out the breakfast and then all that. You see, we are in a deregulated industry where the government does not control the pricing of fuel. What the government controls are the economic indicators that affect the price of fuel, like the cedi to the dollar depreciation, like the taxes that they impose, the tax components in the fuel, and then all that. And so I don't think that, I think there's still going to be competition with Star Oil still being around, with Goil still being around. Now the issue about...
I like that you spoke about the tax. Now let me go there. So are we expecting any short-term intervention, maybe some tax adjustments because the city is struggling at this point so that people don't struggle?
The city is not really struggling at this point. We just have our 1 Ghana cedi, 4%. Yes.
Let's be fair. Yes. Whether we like it or not, we are seeing a depreciation in the city. You choose to use the word "not struggle." That 1 cedi to somebody is very significant. You know. So at this point, we want to ask: is there going to be some sort of, tax adjustments here and there, just to make sure that the people are a bit comfortable?
You see why I say the city is not struggling? Once upon a time in Ghana, we wake up to every day. Once upon a time, the reason why I'm saying that the city is not struggling is that once upon a time in Ghana, I wake up every day to the city depreciating against the dollar. Now today, yes. So today, that's what I'm saying, it's not struggling. When you compare it to even international, other countries and the way their cities depreciate, their currency depreciating to ours, that's why I say that it's not struggling. If we're doing about 10-15%, I'll say it's struggling.
Let's talk about
However, looking at the tax components in the, I don't think that as at this time, the fuel prices have appreciated so much that the government needs to intervene by the removal of certain taxes. It's just going to be slight differences at the fuel pumps. So I don't think that the government will, at this time, intervene with the removal of taxes. All the tax components over there, you see the bus margin, you see the other components. It's not really, the only one I think Ghanaians will talk about is the energy sector recovery levy. That's the NPP terms is that the D levy that is intended to generate money to be able to pay off the IPPs. And then we've been so transparent and accountable to the people of Ghana with the monies that have come in so far and what we've used it for. You realize that the IPPs were praising government for settling some of the debts that has been long overdue. We've been so, and they want to clear off all the debts and able to move the sector into a very satisfactory one for the people of Ghana. And within the 1 year period, Rosalind, because everything has gone on smooth, let's not forget that also we've had fuel going to every part of Ghana. We've not had shortage of fuel in any part of Ghana. There is the energy sector chain that deals with fuel has been very proactive and has been very efficient in the kind of work that they are doing. When you check Bolgatanga all the way in Bolgatanga, you check in Kumasi, you check in Bupe, in Tamale, in the western region and all that. We've not had shortage of fuel anywhere. So we've been so good.
Take a look at the price floor as well, because, if this price floor is taken off, then it means that there are some OMCs that could even lower the prices for the citizens. But this is a case whereby because of the price floor, they can't lower it. The minimum you can sell for is 11 cedis, 92 pesos.
I was part of the people who belong to the school of thought that there shouldn't have been a price floor. But listening to the players in the energy sector I realized that it will be dangerous for all of us as Ghanaians if the price floor is taken off. Now, just look at it where the major and the big boys in the industry, like Star Oil, like they reduce it too much, and then they kick the smaller OMCs out of business. And then when they realize that they're out of business, and now they increase it with no competition. What do you think is going to happen? When we're having this discussion about DSTV and then all that, there was also a point where people were saying that we should open the market for other industry players in that sector to come in. And when they come in, it was going to reduce. We all remember at the time when we were using Mobitel, at the time Starcore, we used to buy the Starcore card as at 65 Ghana cedis those times. 6,500 cedis then. That time the cedi had not changed. Now you realize that when other industry players in that sector came on board, the SIM cards were even some at the point 1 Ghana cedis. By the time if you wanted to buy even a one touch SIM card at that time was about 150. So when we talk about this price floor, we should also take into consideration that the big boys in the industry can afford to reduce them because they are buying in large quantities and can afford to have a better negotiation bargain with the places that they are buying it from, and they'll get it at good prices. What happens to the smaller ones who do not have that power, who do not have that capacity?
Okay.
So if they're kicked out of the system, you and I as Ghanaians, to a large extent, are going to suffer.
All right, let me go to Aziz, and I'll ask you the same question with regards to the price floor, because this is the case where, because of the price floor, whether we like it or not, we have to buy 11 Ghana cedis, 97 pesos or 93 pesos. However, if not for that, some OMCs could have sold it at 10 cedis or probably even 9 cedis or less. Yes. So what do you think about it?
Yes. I think regarding the price floor, I think it should be taken off. We are running a competitive market, and then, you see, the one good thing about allowing competition is sometimes the areas you can look at this are the players local or foreign? And in this case, all these major oil companies are local companies. So there should be a playing field where they compete, and that will benefit the citizens. For example, recently, Dangote in Nigeria, we all saw what happened. He was able to beat fuel prices down because he has large capacity to produce more. What do the citizens benefit if we should set the price at a certain target where just to benefit some few OMCs? No, I think that is very wrong. We should allow the bigger companies to take the market, reduce the prices to the benefit of Ghanaians. And I think this is all probably due to politics and who you know, because it's like my brother is saying, certain smaller companies feel like they are vulnerable. And if the price floor is not set, they will collapse. So maybe they have to see who they have to see, lobby their way in just to make sure. I think this is more of a political game than the interests of the citizens. They should be, the price floor should be taken out, the prices should be beaten down, and you know, fuel affects all sectors of the economy. So once this few increment will definitely trigger drivers to say we are increasing this.
That's the thing. I mean, we've seen it in the past.
Yes, and that brings economic volatility and uncertainty, which I think, you know, we should also look at local production, local refinery, so that a time will come where we can have enough capacity, I mean, in terms of production or refining, so that the global, because certain major oil producing countries in the Gulf are not affected by world markets. We should be looking at that direction in the long term. Because
we have oil in Ghana.
Thank you. We have to look at that direction in the long term. But in the short term, this price adjustment still goes on to add to the fact that the economy is still not stable, and anything can happen. And as far as our economy is still pegged and hooked to the dollar, anything can happen.
Let me go to the deregulation policy. Do you think it still serves its purpose?
Well, no. I think we have to look at control, having control of the economy. We have to look at being able. I mean, the major resources we need, especially oil, we need to be able to be in a position where the country itself have enough capacity to be able to determine most of the prices, most of the for example, right now, as you are saying, if the dollar should go up, if the barrel per fuel should go up in the international market, let's say $100, then that means the price will shoot above the roof. So we have to look at where we have enough oil, as you said, increase local capacity in refining our own oil.
Well, TOR has started though.
Yeah, but that talk, the economy has expanded beyond the days TOR was established. And that can easily be done. I don't know why sometimes, even though for that money, I'm sure that should be able to. I mean, just a joke, but we have to be serious with some of these things. Resources like oil is very, very central. It's very key to the running of the economy. So these areas, we need not to be told. Oil, agriculture, food. If we can't do anything at all, these few areas, we should be able to take full control. Where within few years, we should be independent. We should have some economically independent in those areas. But every day, once oil goes up $1, we need to go. It shows that we lack leaders who have vision. These are very basic things that we can do.
What long-term measures would you propose?
Like I said, the long-term measures, like we all said, we should have local capacity in fuel refining. Nigeria have done it. We can do it. Or even if not, why don't we let Dangote come in? Since we all run...
We should bring Dangote to Ghana.
I'm just saying, if we don't have the local capacity to produce fuel, why don't you collaborate? Because we're always talking about collaboration, economic integration within Africa, West Africa. And we have Dangote doing wonderfully well. Why don't we bring Dangote in? So that we can have fuel as cheap as, it can save our economy, than always allowing people to take advantage of the citizens, bringing oil, add their own profits. At the end of the day, people, look at the system. To access capital in Ghana is not easy. And at the end of the day, price increment here and there, people have to give out their little money to survive. Transportation, fuel. So I think we should look at in the long term, we should look at reducing the burden on the economy for the citizens. And we can't do that without looking at oil, without looking at having full capacity or having some independence in the oil sector, in the energy sector, which is very cardinal to the economy.
All right, thank you, Aziz. Kobi Amwa Esquire has also joined us. Good morning, Kobi.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Great, I'm fine, thank you. And he is representing the NPP this morning. And it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your Thanksgiving service yesterday. Were you there?
Thank you. No, I couldn't make it.
You couldn't make it, but we'll talk briefly about it though.
Yes.
So we are talking about the fuel price that's expected to increase, effective today actually. And we want to know from your part, from what Comac is saying that it's coming because of the depreciation in cedi. The cedi has depreciated by 4%, and hence we are seeing this increment. So from where you sit, do you believe that this increment is actually a reason, or it's happening because of policy mismanagement?
Thank you very much to you and your viewers. To be very honest, since this government came, by virtue of the fact that we've had some kind of stabilization with the forex, the fuel prices have been quite manageable, apart from the tax. The tax of a cedi per liter that was introduced.
The 1 Ghana cedi.
Yes, it was introduced. It's been quite manageable. But the challenge here, as you are saying, is the fact that we can't be too sure how Forex and its management is going to affect it. So now looking at this point in time where there's increase, like Forex is depreciated, and in my opinion, we may still have face some depreciation. There's that likelihood that there's going to be much effect on the cost of fuel. And as you were saying, I think as a government policy, we should look at other ways with which we can minimize the effect of the global oil prices and Forex on our local industry. I know BOST, so yes, not BOST, why am I forgetting the organization?
NPP.
Refines. TOR. I know TOR is making efforts to start our own, get back to full scale production.
Well, they said they have started the production though.
but I doubt the significance now on generally on the prices. But I know, yes, there's such measures are being made to ensure that there's proper, there's much more, such measures are being made to ensure that we are going to produce more. And once we produce it, the prices are going to reduce. So I think that government should focus a lot more in putting in place such measures. Fuel, as he said, affects so many things in the economy. And once fuel prices goes up, very soon we hear the GPRTU telling us that prices are going to go up, it's going to affect inflation and all. So I think that we should really look at that. I may not have followed much of the conversation, but as I said, fuel affects everything. And as a government, I think that is where government should look at if we really want to continue managing the economy well. I know we are going to exit our IMF program soon, and in exiting the IMF program, that's where the real strength of the government and its capacity in managing the economy is going to be seen.
But some people are of the opinion that, without IMF, the economy is better because the kind of rules and regulations that IMF impedes on the people makes the people suffer. I
mean, yes, IMF comes to use conditionalities. The IMF, a lot of times in the immediate term, these conditionalities help the country come back to get back to market access. However, in the long term, yes, I may agree. I mean, there's actually a paper I'm writing on that. In the long term, I may agree. But mostly in the immediate term, IMF has its conditionalities. These conditionalities, it's just like being sick and going to the hospital and getting painkillers. In the immediate term, you're able to revive well. You're able to, because there are a lot of austerity measures, there's some money that is pumped into, and there's a lot of technical support. So yes, in the immediate term, I agree. But what is the true test is how these affects the economy in the aftermath. Some of these measures that are put in place for you to revive there and then. However, they become structural changes in your central bank, structural changes, and even like this whole petroleum industry, how you source funding and all. So from there, how does that affect the economy when you may not need that immediate revamp or immediate come back to the markets or like market access? So I think these are some of the things, but we may have to look at, especially with IMF leaving, and how to manage our economy thereafter. Okay. I mean, as NPP, once the price of fuel and something that, yes, becomes political because we look at the management, but as people, we look at how price of fuel affects us generally, because I'm sure today the fuel that we all bought to come here is the same price. So yes, we are leaving the IMF program, and government should be really concerned about fuel. Okay. Because I think the drivers of inflation and the drivers of prices across board, mostly fuel prices, mostly forex. And unfortunately, forex also has affected fuel.
Do you think government should reconsider this One Ghana energy sector levy?
Yes, I mean, I think that when the conversation came up strongly, I think my concern was that it should be fixed percentage-wise. Because once it's not fixed percentage-wise, depending on the price of the fuel, that One Ghana may be more detrimental to the people. Because One Ghana as a flat policy, what does that actually mean? I think that whatever the levy, and that is what we've done with most of our taxes. Most of our taxes are based on percentages. So that the price at whatever point in time determines what extra you are going to pay. So once the fuel prices go up, it means that the percentage of this One Ghana was going up. When it started, it was around 8%, I guess. I'm not too sure what it is now. Now that forex is going up, then it means that fuel is also going to go higher just because of this levy. Initially, at the time when it was introduced, because fuel prices were a bit lower than previously, it was very obvious that we're not going to notice the effects as much. But now that we may have some shifts in the level of forex pricing, then it's going to have much more of a dire effect on the people. And as he said, very soon, once fuel price goes up, very soon GPRTU say we are increasing costs. Other players in the sector, because everything is based on transportation, so other players in the sector will also increase costs. Then that effect is going to be hard on the people.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. I think that for now we have to know that the fuel price is going to increase. So for those of you who don't know about it, when you get to the pump and you realize that the price has gone up, don't be too surprised. And I'm going to give you the prices for those of you who don't know. If you go to the pump, this is the price that you are supposed to expect. So for petrol, 11 Ghana cedis, 97 pesos. For diesel, 13 Ghana cedis, 9 pesos. And for LPG, that is liquefied petroleum gas, or you call it gas, Mikoto gas, it is 13 Ghana cedis, 93 pesos per kilogram. So this is what you have to expect when you go to the pump this morning. And just in case they tell you that, oh, anyway, we go on to our next conversation, where the NPP had their Thanksgiving service yesterday. It was a beautiful ceremony, I must say, and so congratulations to the entire party. Now, the flag bearer of the party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, urged everybody to come on board so that they can have a united front in the 2028 elections. Now, EMS Onunu Jr., I don't know what you think about this, but do you think that with all that happened during the campaign season, where they said so much against each other, they will be able to come together for 2028?
Yeah, Rosalind, I just wanted to give a few seconds bite on the fuel before touching on this. You see, honestly and objectively, as a country, I like the points my brother Aziz raised, that we need to boost local capacity in refining fuel. That is store working effectively, Central working effectively, get more even refineries that are going to work. But as a country, if you look at the dynamics and the way the world is shifting from the usage of fossil fuel, and they are going more into renewable energy, that's transitioning green. I think that in the vision of the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, in naming the Energy Ministry, it says Ministry of Energy and Green Transition, which means that there's an idea, there's a vision for the ministry to explore and the green and the renewable energy. The more we demand for fuel, the more we demand for this fossil fuel, the more the prices go up. But if we have other sources of energy coming into the system and they are competing with the fuel as it is today, automatically it will make the price drop. Now I see a lot of the delivery services using electronic bikes. I see a lot of electronic cars coming into the system. I see electronic buses, even for commercial usage, coming into the system. And I think that the Minister for Works and Housing should also look at these luxurious estates that are being built. Not for places where, like I live, but these luxurious places where they don't primarily rely on the national grid, where they can rely more on the solar. They can afford the solar panels and stuff, and maybe when there's a problem or something, that they can rely on the national grid. When we do so and we explore and invest more in the renewable energy, it's going to reduce our dependence on the oil sector, which means that the demand is going to be less, and then prices are going to be relatively low. The issue we're talking about in the north, look at the amount of sunshine in the northern region of Ghana. And there's also a way of generating energy from geothermal, where you use the heat from the earth to be able to generate energy.
We want to see it happening.
That's what I'm saying.
Fingers crossed.
That's what I'm saying. That in the wisdom of the president, why he set up the ministry the way he set up, we should be able to explore more into these areas, and it will bring, apart from boosting the refinery capacity, it will bring the price of fuel down. I congratulate the NPP for having a successful Congress that they had, their presidential primaries, where it was relatively free and fair. You've not heard any complaints from, I mean, the election itself was relatively free and fair. You've not heard any complaints from any of the candidates. And I know my brother, my learned colleagues, the candidates, yes, they make it. Yeah, Team Ken, right? His candidates didn't make it, but today they are here, and then we are all discussing national issues, and he's speaking on behalf of the NPP. That's our party politics is. And they had their Thanksgiving service, and I saw people from different political divides that were there. I saw different candidates in the just ended primaries, members of the various teams that were all there. So I think it's a step in the right direction. We in the NDC have always prayed that the NPP becomes a formidable political party. The way and manner which they lost in 2024, it was not too good, for a better word. And if they become a formidable political party, no party in power can thrive and succeed without a credible and objective opposition party. If the government feels too complacent and they think that whatever they are doing is right, they are not putting them in check, at the end of the day, they are going to mess up. And when they mess up, we in the NDC are going to go into opposition. But when they become formidable, when they become united and they are criticizing us objectively, you know, some of the things that are going wrong, you see, or so some of them will be able to correct them. And once we are correcting, even though so far it's been good, there might be some minor lapses at certain places. So when they are okay and they are united, it's good for all of us. We don't want them to go down the road that they went before. We want them to still stay united like this and then give us a responsible opposition.
Do you think they are united now?
It's a step to they being united.
Okay.
Because if you do not have the Thanksgiving where you bring people together, it won't come.
Which of the candidates were there?
It won't come, but some of their supporters were there.
I asked a question.
I know some of them were tired, some of them have traveled out of the country.
You went with them, so you know they've traveled.
I was monitoring Kim. As a political player, I was monitoring Kim. But Kobe is here. He can tell us why
his candidates
wasn't there. But me, in the NDC, I think that it's a step in the right direction. Being united doesn't come. It's not a day's event. It's actually several activities that will lead to that. So it depends on how they handle it. Yes, it's and I was watching you.
It's Rudia.
We are yet to go into our Congress, so I'll not wish them too bad. I wish they come together and give us a responsible opposition.
Right. That's a good one. Anyway, Aziz.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, congratulations to the NPP and to Dr. Bawumia. You know, we are happy that Dr. Bawumia have got a nod. His root is CPP. So we would like to remind him that don't forget your roots. Wherever you go, you're still an increment. So I think it's a plus.
John Mahama is also CPP.
Well, I haven't come to John Mahama.
Oh, okay.
So I know. And John Mahama is, you know, his policies and his ideas, point to the fact that he's still a strong increment. I mean, if you want to talk about that, we will spend all the time. So he's doing very well, excellently well. But we can't also discount the fact that Dr. Bawumia his root is CPP, he's an increment. So he shouldn't forget that. If he should remember that, and remember that very well, he will excel in the NPP. But if he forgets his increment root and his Pan-African roots, I promise you that he will not excel. Because the NPP, with all due respect, for many years have been a party which lacked direction and vision. Yes. So I think for Bawumia to succeed, he shouldn't forget it.
If you say they lack direction and vision for a long time, how long have they been lacking the direction and vision?
Since the NPP came into fruition, you know, the new formation, I mean, the names keep on changing, but since in 1992, right?
Yeah.
Because let's talk, President Kufuor displayed leadership. He displayed a great leadership style, which many Ghanaians admired. But when President Akufo-Addo came, he also saw the mess. As a Pan-Africanist, one of the areas that pains me so much is when he started talking about attack on Mali, Burkina. I mean, Ghana is a symbol of African unity. All black people around the world look at Ghana for vision, direction, unity. And for the first time, an African president is advocating attacking a fellow African country.
It wasn't a conversation is changing, though.
He said something. I'm just asking.
She's asking me.
Yes.
So I'm saying this is an example of that.
I just want him to give me a reason why he said that.
Yes. So everybody knows Ghana stands for this, and you have a leader who is diametric. I mean, opposite to what Ghana stands for. So and also, if you look at the local economy, let's even go to. We all know how the city economy was not doing well. I'm a contractor. A lot of contractors died.
We saw in 2012, in 2011, that the city didn't do well. Does it mean that the NDC also lacked direction?
No, I'm not talking about only that. I'm talking about, for example, this month we're talking about Foriata, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, how many NDC politicians, how many other party leaders ran away? You call them to come and give account, and they wouldn't even come. I'm talking about there's some share of on the part of the NPPs, like we don't give a damn to anybody. That sort of, attitude in the party. I'm saying that they should coach their followers to be more Ghanaian. That Ghanaian mentality, you see, that's submissive to the fact I'm a Ghanaian first before being an NPP.
That's what you think.
That is a general perception among many Ghanaians, that the NPP seem to portray some sort of I don't care whatever you say. You get my point. And also not to forget, I also encourage that Dr. Bawumia should not leave the other candidate out. He should bring them in. But they also have ideas. He is not the only one. They voted for him. They believe in Dr. Bawumia, but then definitely other people also, like Ken. Ken, from where he comes from, you might not understand him, but we learn every day. And Ken seemed to be learning fast with the few years. Coming out to, because I heard him saying somewhere that if you take countries like Singapore, China, they made it because government took deliberate steps to support businesses, finance businesses. And I think this is the only way out. Where government to say, let's empower our people. The Chinese are buying everywhere in Ghana because there's the deliberate. So I heard him saying that, and I was.
But do you think Kennedy should be made a running mate to Dr. Bawumia since he has these ideas?
Well, it's excellent. I'm not saying probably he just mentioning subtitles. Probably he doesn't have deeper knowledge in how to get these things done. I'm just saying, but he's mentioning them. So when someone is saying good things, you have to acknowledge it. It's not only the bad things that. So I think he shouldn't leave the other candidate out. We should come together and team up. And like I said, new patriotic party. So what it means is that any NPP member should be so patriotic that they should be even more patriotic than CPP members because the name is there. That is what I'm urging, that let's say if we leave that also to the NPP, probably they will not be. I think there should be a national policy whereby political parties are contained and you are forced to follow a certain vision, whoever comes into power. So that at the end of the day, we do politics and politicking, and Ghana is going backwards. If you should talk to the average citizens in Ghana today, many citizens have lost confidence in political parties. We are hoping His Excellency President John Mahama will do exceptionally well with where he has started. But we all know, even me and you, we are beginning to lose confidence in political parties, right?
Okay, all right. Thank you. Yes, Kobe.
Yeah, Rosie, before NPP, before I talk about the party unity, just a few points. So that's how I said we're digressed. Just to make it clear, I think that it is very unfair for my brother Aziz to tag NPP as un-Ghanaian and say that certain things that NPP did were un-Ghanaian. Yes, I'm not saying that our previous, or when we were in power, everything was perfect. In fact, as the same party, there are sometimes that we even talk about some flaws that were in government, including what we even term as arrogance of power. However, as a party that in recent times has initiated free SHS, which has benefited the majority of Ghanaian youth, which sometimes even to the detriment of the government, in the sense that other sectors of the economy were probably struggling because the government wanted to ensure that every Ghanaian child has basic education and secondary education. I think it's very unfair to call NPP non-Ghanaian. Yes, during our time, we had economic issues at hand, and I think that is something that we don't run away from. However, this was in the midst of unprecedented crisis, which we're referring to what happened in Russia, Ukraine, in a country which is highly import-driven. And yes, being highly import-driven itself is a problem for the country, but it's not an NPP problem. It's a national problem. Before NPP were highly import-driven, during the NPP's government we were highly import-driven. Now under John Mahama we are highly import-driven. And these are things that as a nation we should see how we can actually put in place measures to ensure that we reduce such import dependence. When there's issues outside, it's definitely going to affect you because petroleum prices increase, and look at even what the previous discussion was. So I think that it's quite unfair to tag NPP as un-Ghanaian. Yes, there were certain things that didn't go well, but NPP in this Fourth Republic, I believe that it's been the government that has done so much of social interventions. And he being an Nkrumahist and a socialist, or maybe of social orientation, I think that if there's any party which has even upheld what Nkrumah's true beliefs are under this Fourth Republic, I think yes, NPP has done so.
Oh, really?
Back to the
Nkrumah side.
When I say the Nkrumah side, you see, Nkrumah, and that has been the issue that I've had with a lot of the Nkrumah conversations. Nkrumah has different personalities and different ideas. There's Nkrumah the socialist, there's Nkrumah the visionary, there's Nkrumah the Pan-Africanist. Then there's Nkrumah the dictator in quotes, because certain things that Nkrumah had done may not have been in consonance with true democratic principles. So you can love one personality of Nkrumah, and I mean, that's my
we'll have to bring this.
But you can love one personality of Nkrumah and hate the other, and that's fine. Everybody loves Nkrumah the Pan-Africanist. I work for companies where you enter into different African markets. You get into a market and you mention you're from Ghana, and like, oh, Kwame Nkrumah is Ghana, and that alone buys you a lot of mileage because of what they believe Nkrumah did as a Pan-Africanist. As a lawyer, you also look at certain decisions and certain things that were done during Nkrumah's period, and you realize that yes, these were in clear contrast to the rule of law. So you can also criticize that. And I think that is what we are yet to come to terms with as Ghanaians in relation to the personality of Nkrumah.
Okay,
now to the NPP and party unity.
What was your candidate yesterday, though? Let me ask you.
He was out of town. He couldn't make it. Yes.
So he's not in Ghana?
He was out of town.
Okay.
I don't want to disclose his location.
All right. But some people were a bit worried that he wasn't present.
Why?
Because it's an NPP thing. It's your Thanksgiving after, a successful election, and everybody was hoping to see him especially being there to prove that unity is prevailing.
You see, I've had this conversation with so many people, like even on phone. Kennedy is someone who doesn't pretend. And when I say Kennedy doesn't pretend, if right after the election, before the results were released, I was in the coalition room with him. When we saw the results, and at a point where we realized that Dr. Bawumia had crossed the 50% mark, he said, you know what, let me go down and address the people. Media was there. Joy was there.
Yeah.
And he addressed clearly, saying that the election has been lost, he concedes, and he's supporting the winner. In fact, at that same time, some members of some supporters were around, started shouting, no can, no vote. He quickly rebuked them, telling them that if I had won and someone had said no Bawumia, no vote, or no Brian, no vote, would you have been happy? No. The delegates have made a choice and let's stand by it. That same evening, Honorable Kennedy was at the party headquarters to support Dr. Bawumia.
Yeah.
He gave a speech to support him. From there, he sent text messages across the country to all delegates. Let me read what I received. Thank you, NPP delegates. Just a second.
Okay.
Thank you, NPP delegates, for your immense support during the 31st January primaries. Let us unite and rally behind Dr. Bawumia for victory in 2028, Kennedy, Japan. So he actually sent text messages to every single delegate to support Dr. Bawumia. He's called his team, he's rallied his people to support Dr. Bawumia. So if he was not present at one event, or if he's not been to Dr. Bawumia's house to say hello, that does not mean that he doesn't support the candidature. We know Kennedy. Kennedy is someone who speaks his mind. Kennedy does not pretend. Right after the election, if he wasn't going to support Dr. Bawumia, he would have stood at the campaign office there and then said, I am not going to do this. But he didn't do that. He actually was very clear and emphatic that his people should come together. Let's rally behind the eventual winner of the party and support him.
Wasn't it because they had signed a peace pact?
Kennedy believed in what he was doing. It was not a peace pact. I mean, he could have, the peace pact didn't say that to go and stand outside and openly declare. He could have kept quiet. But we know Kennedy. And he, as I said, he doesn't mince his words. He doesn't pretend. So he's clearly in support of the party and the decision of the delegates. He's been in this party since 92, and he understands it. This is not the first time he's losing a primary. And last time when he lost, he came out fully to support who the eventual candidates. Yes, I believe that unity, as my brother Emmanuel was saying, unity is not an event, it's a process. There's so much that went on during the primaries which has potential to derail the unity of the party. And I think that as time goes on, the party elders and other meaningful people should always ensure that we're able to come down and address such issues. Unity does not just reside with the 5 main candidates. Every party member is important. Mind you, last election from 2020, our votes dropped from 6 over 6.7 to 4.6, which clearly shows that either some party members, some sympathizers were not happy, some even left to form their party. So we should be able to see ways of bringing together everybody, from the party people who are not happy to our delegates who are not happy to candidates who may have certain issues to be addressed. That's the only way that we have unity. Yes, Kennedy could have come there, and I think it would have been very symbolic. But he was out of town and he couldn't make it.
You couldn't make it either, right?
No, I couldn't make it.
Okay.
I had a family wedding to attend.
Okay.
And I couldn't make it.
Okay.
But I'm here this morning
to tell
after yesterday, after a long night yesterday in this same family event doing party communication. And I think that is, would you have preferred me going for Thanksgiving service, being in white taking pictures, rather than being here defending the party and its policies?
So you could have still made it.
No, I'm just saying that if I were to pick the 2-year party member, which one do you prefer? Me going for a Thanksgiving service, taking pictures that, I'm here which a lot of people would do from there, go and sleep.
Supporters there?
Yes, a lot of his supporters were there. So many of the supporters were there. Senior members of our team, like Abdul Aziz Adam, was seated right behind Dr. Baumia. We saw Ejuso MP Kwabena Boateng also present, and many other Kennedy Japan supporters were there, because it was not a Kennedy, it was a party event, and party members, including supporters of all the other candidates, were there. Mind you, I didn't see President Kufuor there. I didn't see President Akufo-Addo there. I didn't see Honorable Brian Champon there. Does this mean that they are not for the unity of the party? Does this mean they are not supporting Dr. Baumia? Absolutely no. It was an event, and some could make it, some couldn't make it. We move on and we work towards the party and victory 2028. We have 3 years ahead. And we'll do all that is possible within our minds to rescue power from the NDC.
Fantastic. EMS Olunu Jr., I mean, some of the things that were said during the campaign season, that's where the issue is. Do you think that some of these candidates will be able to get past the things that were said?
Yeah, as politicians, they should be able to get past some of the things that were said. But the acrimonious nature of the campaign period leading to the election day, that was mainly free and fair. If you look at some of the things that were said, there are things that could never be forgiven. At a point in time, certain candidates were calling certain candidates that they had mental issues. At a point in time, people were playing voice and video clips of certain candidates where at the time they were doing it in the name and the interest of the NPP at the time. And today the person wants to be a flag bearer, and they were playing those videos and telling the party people that the person was not fit to be a leader and a president of this nation, when this same person did those things to protect the NPP. So again, I was just saying that I wish them well. I wish that they will be together. I wish that they will be united. However, it's a very big hurdle that they would have to cross. We're coming to light and looking at the fact that they are not going to organize from the polling station elections to the constituency to the regional and the national elections. How are they going to handle it? They think that maybe the top-down approach means that there's going to be unity in the party. But I don't think so. Because now you look at all the people who are aspiring to lead positions. And today, if Kobe decides to contest any election, the Baumia camp will be looking at him with a double eyes, like, hey, is he really going to go in our favor? Is he really going to campaign for us? They'll be looking at him. So obviously there will be Baumia slate of candidates. And then so the top-down approach that they did, that they said that it was going to bring unity in the party. Where did they go? It's going to be a cause-90 job. I'm monitoring clearly some of the people who are declaring intent to contest NPP elections, and all of them are saying that they are aligned with the Baumia camp. What happens to the people from the Ken camp? What happens to people from Brian Champon's camp? So that means that they cannot come and contest elections. If you want to contest any party position in the NPP today, you must align with the Baumia camp, even if you're communicating for the party. So they have a very big hurdle to cross. I see the show that they did yesterday, the Thanksgiving show that they did.
It's an event.
No, I see the show that they did, the Thanksgiving show that was out yesterday, as a charade. It's a charade that they fear that the party is going to decompose further. It's a charade that they fear that there's not going to be unity. So they are just trying to portray to certain people. And I like the statement that Copy made. He said, you expect him to go and wear white and take pictures than going to defend the interest of the party. You see, so clearly you can see that this claimed unity statement is a cow dung principle. When I say a cow dung principle, you see the cow dung at the top of it, it looks like very hard, but when you step in, it's all soft and then in there. So at the top of it, they are wearing white there, showing to the people of Ghana that they are united and they are victorious and they are having Thanksgiving and thanking their maker. But then when you go deep inside, there are lots of cracks in there. And it will take them a great deal to be able to overcome that. Look at examples of just after the elections, where they started tagging the minority leader, Honorable Alexander Afenyo-Markin, as a Ken person, looking at the votes that came there. Even though this man stayed very quiet, he did not openly declare support for any candidate, but judging from the votes that the Kennedy Japan got in the Futu, they started tagging him that he was anti-Bawumia and then all that. To the extent that we saw on video that when the MPs, super micro minority caucus parliamentarians in parliament were going to greet Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, they did not inform him. Honorable Alexander Afenyo-Markin had to remember his school days as an athlete to be able to ran into his car and ran to the grounds. We saw videos where he was walking so fast to be able to get there. We saw a video. We saw a video where minority leader was not informed.
But it's a case whereby
he did not go with them.
We have a
he didn't say that he was not informed.
Oh, he did not go with them.
He said he was late. He was late. You see, he was addressing a press conference.
Yeah.
And by virtue of addressing a press conference and the time that they were given, the other members of the minority had taken the lead. So he said, I am running late and my colleagues are already at the flag bearers.
The minority I know today.
I need to move there.
The minority I know today. They don't move without
but you see,
they don't move without
all of them
they believe
without him moving.
They believe was
okay.
The minority, and if he started the press conference he did, you see, those people, the leadership would have stood behind him. Clearly, there's something mischievous in there.
Anyway, that is why. That is why.
That will say wada.
That is why.
So if he says that it's true,
aspects of
and there's nothing wrong.
But that's why
anyway, Aziz, let me bring you in so I can take your final submission on it. So yes. So for the NPP, you know, what the submission Metal Nunu is making is that this was just a charade. It's not something that, you know, there's unity. There's not much unity. Even looking at the numbers that were pulled, one would have expected it being an NPP party having a Thanksgiving. The place would have been, you know, overflowed. Yeah. And you see people standing outside, but unfortunately they didn't see these numbers in there. And I like the fact that he said the top-down approach could affect them. Do you think it will?
Yes. I don't know why this time they rushed to hold the presidential primary so soon before but then, well, the party executives know better. So, but I think clearly there's division within the party, but definitely if it now all boils down to, I mean, everybody will be looking up to the elected, Dr. Bawumia, because he has to extend, he has to welcome or open door for everyone he has to show willingness to work with everyone. So he will have to demonstrate that he has the skills of bringing the party together, or bringing everybody together So I think for now it's clearly, there's serious division within the party, but all will depend on him. You know, he will be able to talk to them and assure them that he will add them to his team. I don't know, they will know how to be able, but for now, it appears some people even using tribal, religious, you know, we can't vote for this person because he's a Muslim, but we all know that in Ghana here, nobody is a Muslim, nobody is a Christian. Before they came, before Islam and Christianity came, we're here. So it doesn't define us. So I just made mention of something, a vision. I was talking about vision and direction, you know. So these are some of the issues. We need to look at Ghana first, you know. So Dr. Bawumia have to demonstrate that he has all the party in good heart. He will be father for all, and all will depend on him. And I'm sure he can do that. He has demonstrated he's a man. I mean, we Northerners, if not today, we don't have arrogance. We've always been very humble. And when it comes to leadership in Ghana, everybody knows when you take the North, the North first. Even Manshia will tell you that when it comes to leadership in Ghana, the North. So Bawumia, I believe in his capabilities. He can. If some other people don't begin their thing again, and they'll really be true NPP members, I see unity within the party. And I also feel, but I think, like I said, the vision is the problem. What is the vision?
Okay.
If you don't have a vision, Ghanaians will judge you according to what you just did some few years ago. And that is where I feel the NPP will have to convince Ghanaians, will find it difficult to convince, because President Mahama is doing wonderfully well from where he has started. And I, as President President Mahama, have not forgotten where he came from. And we all know what was happening there. And when he came, he brought stability within West Africa. He stabilized the economy.
But Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia can do the same kind.
Oh, but he says he believes in Dr. Bawumia. So I even told the producer will have a news card. I believe in Dr. Bawumia, Abdul Aziz.
I'm an ordinary, right? Yes. And ordinaries, we don't turn our back on each other, if not today. So President Mahama is a brother, Dr. Bawumia is a brother.
So you believe in
And I know
so since one brother is here, another
Dr.
brother
Bawumia can learn from John Mahama. Because John Mahama is showing the way. So I'm saying that the issue of Dr. Bawumia have to demonstrate that people will go against you. People have said you are a Northerner, you are a Muslim, but he shouldn't listen to that. He should look at bringing the party together. But the vision, President Mahama have to carve a vision for the party.
President Mahama?
Dr. Bawumia have to carve a vision for the NPP. Okay. Because like I said earlier, I don't want to repeat again so that my brother will be offended. So without that, how will you be able to convince Ghanaians that we should consider you again after the mess you've just caused? So I think Dr. Bawumia will have a lot of work in terms of presenting the vision, a direction. And with that, if Dr. Bawumia is able to come out with a clear vision, then Ghanaians will be able to listen to. But with the success or the way, the direction President Mahama is heading towards, Ghanaians are beginning to believe in him. Just unfortunately, he is not going again. If President Mahama was going again, I'll say Dr. Bawumia should forget, because John Mahama is doing is doing very well. Okay. Yeah, so Dr. Bawumia have a lot of work at hand. Okay. Yes.
All right, Kobe, let me bring you in. And Iyeme Tununu Jr. made a certain statement, and of course, whoever is told that will be pained. And your candidate was told that there were allegations. Somebody actually stood on somewhere saying, why will you vote for somebody with mental illness and all of that? And that's a very harsh one. Is your candidate willing to forgive such statements made against him?
So I think that during the elections, a lot of things went overboard. Some very unfortunate. Especially, some people of very high caliber in the party who should have actually been the ones who would set example for the younger ones, for we the younger ones, also dabbled in such kind of politics. And we are all human. And when certain things are said against you, especially people who know what you have contributed to the party as an individual, people who know how you have even supported them in times past, people who know your capabilities, just because of political interests, it becomes a problem. And it cuts both ways. I'm not going to be here and say that it was only against our camp. It cuts both ways. It becomes quite a challenge. And that's why I believe that the unity after the election, we just don't say that, after the election we'll be united. We have a few events that shows people in pictures and all, and we think that should be done and the party should be united. No. The party and its elders should take steps to ensure that a lot of issues that came up during the elections are properly addressed. Because from both sides, you speak to people, and some people even want to go as far as bringing claims of defamation and all, because certain things went overboard. So as a party, we have 3 years, yes, but in the immediate process, I believe that we should be able to come together and resolve these issues one by one. And that's why I said unity is not just about even the candidates, because the leading members of the candidates who were unjustly denigrated just because they were seen as influential or they were seen as supporting other candidates. So therefore, people had to lower them in the eyes of right-standing people, not to even listen to them.
Right.
However, as a party, these are the measures that I believe that the leadership should be taking as of now, making sure that some of these issues are resolved. Else, everybody would say, oh, we are united, we've come together, but deep within, these issues will not be resolved, and it might affect us. So let's and I mean, I know a lot of party elders are listening, especially, not everyone, I mean, some of them ended up involving themselves in this same act that we are talking about. But especially those who either stayed out or stayed very clean should make sure that they extend the olive branch to others and make sure that some of these issues are identified and addressed.
The top-down approach, do you think it will affect anybody who is a part of the Kennedy team who wants to contest as a party official?
So I was not in favor of this top-down approach right from the beginning. And it had certain concerns. And especially where it was obvious that a top-down approach may end up leading to a winner-takes-all kind of mentality, where now someone will believe that, oh, my candidate has won, and by virtue of the fact that my candidate has won, it should be an easy ride for me. Yes, I mean, the top-down approach has already been done. However, if left to me, we should reverse back to voting from the bottom, where we start from our polling station elections, we go to our constituency elections, regional and national elections.
Right,
and the party leaders, especially our flag bearer, should be able to take steps to ensure that people don't use his name to intimidate others. You know, there's a tendency that he may not be aware, but just by virtue of the fact that some people supported him, I know time is running, but just a few seconds.
Yes.
Just by virtue of the fact that people may not have supported him, others may want to take advantage and say, we are the Bawumia people. Bawumia says, I supported him, he can work with me, he can't work with this person because the person was Kennedy, which might be entirely false. We should be able to take steps to ensure that those things don't happen. And that's how we can be truly united. All
right, thank you very much. Now, there's been terror attack on Ghanaian traders in Burkina Faso. 7 persons have lost their lives through this terror attack. Now, there's been conversations around us having, or us boosting our traders in the northern part of the country, not going to Burkina Faso to trade there. And so we have Richard Kumado. He's a fraud prevention expert and security consultant joining us on Zoom this morning. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Great, and thank you so much for joining us. This terror attack, I mean, it's quite disheartening to hear this. What do you have to say about it?
Definitely, and that is why I was of the view that to the extent that Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger has become a high security zone due to the incidences of terror attacks, if we could establish a centralized market in Boga or Tamale, that the heavy-duty trucks can bring in the goods to this centralized market, it makes the travel routes very negligible, and our mothers and aunties can make a short distance and bring the goods. Or let's establish a farm, empower the Ghanaians to establish a farm in the northern part of Ghana, that they may have the opportunity of planting the seed of the tomatoes and onions from Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. It's also important to say that once you are traveling into some of these high-intensity road zones, your personal security, your safety guidelines, and your travel risks will have to be taken seriously. And one way of doing it is to contact our embassy in the country you find yourself, and they will be able to provide traveling guidance and probably security escort as well.
Right. And so now we need more government intervention, you said.
Definitely. This is a trade that has been on for a very long time. We know the terrain until such a time that terror attacks are beginning to take over the trade. We will need government-to-government conversations. The traders themselves will have to take their personal security seriously. And one way of getting security advice and guidance is to deal with the embassy in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger.
Right. Thank you so much, Richard Kumado. And we are hoping the government will do something about it. And I like your write-up. Thank you very much. And you said we should empower a Ghanaian farmer to set up tomato and onion farm at Tamale. You know, the government has said that they are going to do more in the agric sector. So doing more in the agric sector, it means that they need to take a look at the northern sector as well, right? All right, thank you very much, Richard. He is a fraud prevention expert and security consultant. And may the souls of those who lost their lives in this terror attack in Burkina Faso rest in peace. Something that we don't hope to ever hear in our country. But unfortunately, when they go to just make sure they make money to put food on their table, they lose their lives. Shouldn't happen, and it should never happen again. So we hope that the government will help them. Now we are ending our conversation. Yes, Aziz, you want to say something before we go?
Yes. Are we to respond? Can we?
Oh, yes. We can do it 1 minute, in 1 minute, okay. 1 minute, because I have to go.
Before I go in, I come in. My brother made mention of, I said I believe in Dr. Bawumia, and it's because Bawumia and Mahama are all product of CPP. So that is. Now, let's come back to this.
So you do?
I believe in both of them. If they do the right thing, why not? Now, let's come back to what you just discussed. Some of us knew. I'm a Pan-Africanist in Krumes, and I read a lot on these issues. And beyond that, I have done studies in these areas. I have a master's in international relations and diplomacy. So I'm well versed in these areas. And some of us have always predicted that these things will happen, and the worst is yet to come. And, you know, when people go to sleep, unexpected things happen. If you look at ECOWAS, if you look at what is happening it's not only Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. This is something that is happening, and if we don't stop it now, very soon they'll enter northern Ghana, and they'll enter one day, they'll take over Accra. So I don't know what is wrong with us, that one politician can steal $100 million and put in your account. You have a vision to steal so much, but you don't have a vision to be able to foresee the danger that will befall your people in the next 20 years, 30 years to come, and prevent it. I would like to use this opportunity to tell the president of Ghana, we should wake up. What is happening in Burkina and Mali is not their problem only. These are people who believe that they have been indoctrinated to have certain beliefs. And they themselves are not even the main financiers of this fight. Others are behind this. Why don't ECOWAS set up a military task force in the northern territories? We have men. ECOWAS, we are about 500 million population. And millions of young guys are wasting. Joblessness. Can't you set up military corridors in these borders? Just to protect our own land. If we are so useless as a people, can't we protect our land? I mean, it's so shameful. People are being slaughtered like goats in our borders. And our leaders are, okay, this cannot happen in Europe. This cannot happen in Asia. It's only Africa where our people will be slaughtered and we still behave like normal human beings. So some of us expert in these areas. Me, if I'm called, I have the expertise to stop this nonsense once and for all. Okay. Africa belongs to us. We cannot be on our land. And some people think they are special human beings. They can come and kill us and take our land. This issue is more than just killing 7 people, who are going to sell their tomatoes. Some people think they deserve Mali, Burkina, they deserve Ghana. And if you don't wake up, that is why I was so unforgiving when Akufo-Addo was making this attempt on Mali and Burkina, which was, showed that he really didn't know what he was about. So I think this is danger. Okay. And if you don't wake up, I promise you, in a few years to come, you'll enter Accra. Thank you.
Anyway, thank you, Aziz. Yes, Yemetonunian. One minute, please.
Yeah, on the NPP Thanksgiving, I'm appealing to the NPP Council of Elders to immediately set up a committee to scout for leaders who have leadership qualities for the NPP. Because as it stands now, clearly you can see that the NPP is leadership deficient, and they lack direction on how to handle the party. With the charade that happened as a Thanksgiving service, you see, if you have a flock of sheep being led by a lion, they are more fierce than having an army of lions being led by a sheep. The mere fact Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the leader of the NPP today, no matter how united the party rallies behind them, the NPP is still going to go down in 2028 just because of the leader they've elected.
All right, thank you very much.
They didn't give me the minute.
Everybody has.
Good. So, I mean, Emmanuel has spoken very well today. Then I asked it, I don't know what he was trying to imply.
I left the candidate out. I'm trying to say that.
I don't know what he was trying to imply, but I think that the NPP delegates have made a choice. Dr. Bawumia was a vice president. He did creditably well as a vice president. Yes, there were issues with our governance as a whole, and by virtue of that, we were not able to retain power. NDC, during President Mohammed's first term, had similar issues, but he was able to make a comeback. So Dr. Bawumia is going to win the 2028 elections. However, it's going to take all of us as a party to come together and work for it.
Council.
Thank you very much. All right, some messages have come in. Good morning, Roslyn. Tell the NPP to stop shedding crocodile tears for cocoa farmers after messing up the cocoa sector and dropping production from 1 million tons to 450,000. They destroyed the cocoa industry through Galamsey and saddled it with over 32 billion cedis. They should apologize for their sins and stop buying or busing people to cocoa farms to incite farmers, since they will not give them power. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't go into the cocoa sector conversation today because of time, but hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to bring you that conversation. Master Planner Junior, Policy Analyst Kinton Paul says, today, dear, my brother, E.A. Metonunu Jr. has done a fantastic analysis of the NPP presidential elections and the National Thanksgiving Service. He accepting the fact that the elections was free and fair speaks volume. I will take care of his breakfast this morning. What is the CPP man talking about? The NPP doesn't have vision and direction. Anyway, I want to ask him, does CPP still exist? Maybe he is dreaming. He should go and check their 2024 election results. When was the last time they had MP in Parliament? He should give us a break. They should even stop coming. Oh, they won't come for the stop. They will come. That's what the discussions, we need them, so they will be coming. Mesha Kasanti, okay. All right, so Meshach says that the world market price of cocoa in 2024 and the NPP was $10,000, which was 3 times higher than the current world market price, which is $3,900. NPP government was paying 3,100 cedis to farmers out of the 9,000 cedis they were receiving per bag, and NDC government is also paying 2,587 cedis to farmers out of the 2,800 cedis they are receiving per bag. President Mahama, in a video, said in 2024 that the NDC government will have 70% of the world market price of cocoa when voted into power. So just do your simple calculation and you'll see that the NDC government is giving cocoa farmers over 90% out of the money they are receiving per bag. So what else are we expecting the government to do? But, okay, where did I get to? Sometimes you get in and you're like, all right. To do, but we thank God most of the farmers understand and appreciate what the government has done. Mesha Kasante said this one. Sami Boachia Samankese is saying that the deletion of the red alert for Honorable Ken Oforiatta by Interpol demonstrates the current Attorney General's incompetence, which is further underscored by the recent fuel price hike. The government is attempting to shift focus. Food prices are higher and there are struggles of traders and business owners due to lack of patronage. Nonetheless, Ghanaians anticipate further increments. The only positives expected are the maintenance of cocoa price, implementation of the Women's Bank, and a 24-hour economy, which currently seems like a mere rhetoric. The situation may escalate. But with Dr. Mahmoud Baumia on the horizon for 2028, there is hope in regards to Samuel Osei Sarkodie. Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm says that, good morning, Roslyn. Let me first and foremost, all right. Thank you very much this morning for bringing up the issue of water crisis in the north. My dear, I arrived in Accra yesterday from Tamale, and you need to see how the good people in Tamale are suffering because of water. I will not miss words here. Our political leaders and our chiefs are to be blamed for all this. I expected the leaders to raise up and fight in the interest of the people in Tamale, but I am afraid they are not. The most annoying of all is that they keep on sending bills to you to pay without rendering any services to you. I live in an area in Tamale called Young. We have not seen water flow through our taps for more than a year now. My dear, I can provide you with all the bills sent to me by the Ghana Water Company Limited to pay without giving me water for over a year now. And the most criminal part of all this is that tankers selling water in Tamale belongs to those big men working at GWCL. You see what I was saying? Junior, do you see what I was saying? Says, okay, if I Rosalind, I'll send you reporters to Tamale and see things for yourself. Students are going through hell in Tamale. I salute you this morning for bringing this issue up this morning. God bless you. Amen. I receive it. You see what I was saying? So we actually discussed this. Now this, I was saying, Dr. Abedu, there's a social analyst, Dr. Abedu, who was here last week. You are all politicians. He said something. This is an eye-opener from what he said. He said that politicians do not empower the ordinary person to their level so that you always owe them. So he's saying that these water tankers are owned by the leadership of Ghana Water Company Limited.
These are technocrats, not politicians. But it's so easy.
So as a politician,
for people to
fix the
problem. We'll go and investigate and look for the owners.
Fix the problem.
We'll fix it. But we'll investigate and see those who are owners of those tankers.
Don't just investigate.
And why they are doing that.
Don't just investigate.
You see, it's easy for Ghanaians to put it on us, but the technocrats have a role to play.
Fix the problem.
We'll fix it.
And then we won't put the blame on you.
That is what the first step is exposure. You've done it now today. And I thank you for bringing it up on this national platform where the leaders are listening to. Second step, information is coming in. We'll investigate and then resolve it. I'll give you first-hand information on each assessment that was done. So it's good that we discuss it. And I thank you very much. Because water is a basic commodity
and you're
for everybody.
You're paying for it.
Yeah, so we'll investigate it and we'll make sure we address it.
It's 2 years now.
1 year. We've been 1 year in power.
Topic up 2 years ago.
Well, we have been 1 year.
1 year in
yes.
power. 1 year, how many months?
By the end of this year, a lot of work will be done on this.
Okay. I pray so.
Amen.
Good morning, Rosalind. Unfortunately, the honeymoon is over and the reality is setting in for the deceptive government led by President Mahama. In reality, Ghanaians are now feeling the incompetence of the NDC administration, particularly cocoa farmers, teachers, nurses, and contractors. Ultimately, Ghanaians will come to the realization that they were deceived by the NDC's lofty promises. Abdul Razak sent this one. Greetings to you and your panelists. In fact, as we are all aware that the low petroleum product is as a result of the fall of crude oil price at the international market and the stabilization of the city, which is also due to the hikes of gold prices at the international market. Government always wants to take credit for all these gains. They should as well be ready to accept blame when things turn around at the international market and stop the unnecessary defense. This coming from Sir Joe Baba Bolgatanga. I like this one. Good morning to you. Fuel prices have officially increased today, Monday, February 16, 2026. This hike is fueled by a weakening city and rising international market trends. And my point is that the government should consider the measures below. Number one, policy action. The government should temporarily suspend the price stabilization and recovery levy to lower pump costs. 2, business shift. Traders should adopt bulk hauling and shared logistics to cut fuel waste. And 3, consumer hack. Opt for fuel-efficient driving habits and patronize stations offering loyalty discounts like Goil. Aaron Bebako Kokomisa. Goil, in fact, Goil they should be serving us breakfast today. When fuel price came down, you served breakfast. I'm hoping that since the fuel price has shot up, they will serve us breakfast. If you don't serve us breakfast, we'll come and sit here and we'll bash you people. says, good morning, Rosalind. I'm struggling to appreciate the sudden increase of fuel prices when the international market hasn't changed. I thought the CD is doing well. I thought the inflation is under 5% or in single digits. I thought the other macroeconomic indicators look good. So why the increase? Anyway, special greetings to Adrian Kessia, John Bwedu. Okay, thank you very much. I think this is all I will read for this morning. I'm so grateful to all of you that sent in your messages to us. Producer, please, do I end or we have time? Let me know. I should end. Okay. So a very big thank you to all of you.
Let me also respond to the text. The
Which
first
one?
text message said CPP is dead and all of that. But like I said, we have become a reservoir of knowledge. You know, it's like the old and the young. Like I said, NPP and NDC will not be able to govern this country well if they forget the CPP. Because the foundations and the pillars of this country were built by the CPP. The CPP built a very formidable with a nation with vision. Nkrumah even wrote a book called The Neocolonialism, where Nkrumah directed us, gave us much knowledge ahead and what is to come. So NPP and NDC, what have they achieved in terms of direction, vision for this country? None. So if they forget the CPP, every day it will be up and down, and they will fail again and again. So those who are saying the CPP is dead, we are not dead. The old man in the house might be old, but all the knowledge resides with him.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes.
It was just a minute, like on cocoa, I think that the minority at the press conference urging on government to revert to the cocoa price that was set for the year, and especially when it's unprecedented that mid-year or mid-season government changes the prices of cocoa. I think it's a call that we all have to support. Yes, there's been a crash in the market. Yes, I think that Cocoa Board didn't plan well in the sense that the culture has been to sell forward so that by the season, you would have already had commitment for people to buy at a certain price. And therefore, when there's a crash or there are changes mid-season, you don't go about changing the prices, because cocoa farmers, especially these are people who plan yearly according to the price that has been set. And when the price has been set in midstream, there's a crash, and government now tries to shift these burden to the farmers. It affects all sectors of the economy. And even more dangerously, this ends up enabling galamsey. Because when cocoa farmers at a point feel that there's nothing much to go, they sell their land to galamseyers, get some capital and try to diversify what it is. So government, yes, Cocoa Board and cocoa has been of great support to the country, from Breed Dam to other cocoa scholarships, cocoa routes. Cocoa has done so much for this country, and it's at a point in time that I think that the government should be able to show the cost or the challenges that are arising from the crash, and show the farmers. Because shifting this burden eventually to the farmers is going to affect people from all sectors of life and affect so many other things, even galamsey. Thank
you very much, Kobe. Metal?
Yeah, Rosalind, I think that's the most important thing that we all learn from this cocoa saga that's happening, is that there's a new bill that the government is going to pass that's going to reform the cocoa industry. We're also telling Ghanaians that we should move away from exporting most of our raw materials, where we are now going to process about 50% of our raw cocoa beans here. This is something that we need to look at. This is like a gold board that now we are starting refining some of our raw gold over here to add value to them. I think that in most of our raw materials that we export, if we add value here, we are going to create employment, we are going to stabilize them. So these external shocks will not really affect us. We are in crisis, and we apologize to the farmers for what we are going through now. I stand on the apology from the CEO, Randy Abbey, that he has rendered to the farmers. We are going to make sure that we resolve the issue. And ever since in the history of Ghana, since '92, no government has ever given farmers about 90% of the price that cocoa is being sold. That's what we are giving them now. We are amidst this crisis. We'll resolve it, and we'll make sure that we add value to the raw beans in Ghana here.
Thank you very much, Metal Jr. I want to say a very big thank you to all my guests for being in the studio this morning. Kobiamo Esquire, represented the NPP. Abdul Aziz Adam represented the CPP, and E.A. Metal Jr. represented the NDC.